Today I want to share something that could change your energy, your mood, your mental health, and maybe even your life. Something that affects everyone, men and women. Something almost no one talks about enough, yet it shapes how alive, present, and motivated you feel. We're talking about testosterone. Yes, you heard that right. And no, it's not just a guy thing. Testosterone is the silent engine of our vitality. It's the most bioactive hormone not only in men, but also in women. Yet today, in 2025, we have about 60% less testosterone on average than people had in 1970. We feel tired, unmotivated, gain weight easily, suffer from anxiety, depression, insomnia. And medicine still largely ignores this silent hormonal crisis. The culprits? Plastics, pesticides, food additives, chronic stress, poor sleep, and those infamous forever chemicals that build up in our bodies and wreck our hormonal balance. It's a real invisible epidemic, affecting men and women, young and old alike. But here's the good news. We can take action. We can intervene naturally and safely. And soon I'll show you how to test your levels, how to raise them, and a little known but powerful method, testosterone pellets. All right. Let's say you want to check if your testosterone is really low. What should you do? It's simple. A basic blood test, done early in the morning on an empty stomach. But be careful. It's not enough to look at just one number. Many people only check their total testosterone, but that's just a small part of the picture. If you want a first quick check, start with total and free testosterone. Those are your two key markers. If they're very low, it's already a red flag. But to really understand what's happening in your body, you need to dig deeper. Ask your doctor to also include these: SHBG, which tells you how much testosterone is actually available to your body, estradiol, to see if your testosterone is being converted into too much estrogen, LH and FSH, the hormones that kickstart production. If they're low, the issue may come from higher up. Prolactin, which when too high, can kill your drive and energy. And finally, DHEAS, a key marker of your hormonal vitality and stress resilience. Once you get your lab results, the first thing you'll notice are the usual reference ranges. But here's the truth. Normal doesn't mean optimal. Today's ranges are based on a population that's already depleted, tired, stressed, running on fumes. So even if your numbers fall within the normal range, you might still feel empty. So what are optimal levels? If you're a man, aim for total testosterone over 600 nanograms per deciliter, and ideally over 700. Free testosterone. Your active form should be above 15 pg per milliliter. And what about women? Yes, testosterone matters for women too, and a lot. Total testosterone should be above 20 or 25 nanograms per deciliter, and free above 1.5 pg per milliliter. They're small numbers, but they make a huge difference in how you feel, in your energy, motivation, sleep quality, even desire. If your numbers are low, you might feel tired, foggy, unmotivated, losing muscle, gaining belly fat. And no, it's not just aging, it's a warning sign. Think about two people, Mark and Lucy. Both have blood work that's within the normal range, but Mark wakes up exhausted, struggles to focus, and feels unmotivated. Lucy often feels anxious, sleeps poorly, and has lost that spark in her relationships. Then there's John and Helen. Same stressful jobs, same daily challenges. But they wake up with energy, mental clarity, presence. The difference? It's not magic. John and Helen have optimal hormone levels, not just acceptable. The human body doesn't want to just survive. It wants to thrive. So how do you raise testosterone naturally? You don't need medication, at least not at first. Here are 4 essential pillars you can start with right now. Sleep 7 to 8 hours per night. Deep sleep is when testosterone is produced. Train with weights, HIIT, high-intensity interval training, or compound movements like squats and deadlifts. Your body reacts to effort with a hormonal boost. Avoid plastic, processed foods, and refined sugars. They're enemies of your endocrine system. Reduce stress. High cortisol tanks your testosterone. What about key foods? Let's talk about fuel. Because to function properly, your body needs the right ingredients. I'm talking about zinc, magnesium, and iodine. For zinc, Imagine a rich plate of slow-cooked red meat, or a handful of crispy pumpkin seeds as a snack. Zinc is a true ally of strength and hormone production. It's one of the building blocks your testosterone needs. For magnesium, think of the rich smell of dark cocoa, a handful of almonds, or a plate of freshly sautéed spinach. Magnesium calms your nerves, relaxes your muscles, and boosts your metabolism. Without it, you feel tense, drained, irritable. And then there's iodine. You'll find it in that ocean scent in seaweed, fresh fish, and eggs. Iodine is the invisible transporter of testosterone into your cells. You can have high blood levels, but without iodine, that hormone won't reach where it's needed. It's like having fuel, but no key to start the engine. To support you in the best possible way, I've created a detailed chart you'll find linked in the video description below. Inside, you'll find the optimal testosterone ranges for men and women over 40, a list of natural foods rich in zinc, magnesium, and iodine, the amount contained per 100 grams, and the exact daily portion needed to meet your nutritional needs naturally, a practical tool to keep on hand whenever you want to improve your hormonal nutrition. Download it, print it, keep it in the kitchen. Let it guide you every day toward a stronger body, a clearer mind, and a fuller life. But here's a key point I'll repeat again. Something very few people know. Without iodine, testosterone stays in the bloodstream and doesn't get into the cells. So even if your lab results show good levels, you might still feel drained, foggy, or low. And what if all this still isn't enough? Many people think hormone therapy only means needles or creams you have to apply every day. But there's another path, more stable, more natural, and way less stressful. Testosterone pellets. Imagine no longer dealing with sudden mood swings, unexplained irritability, or the daily hassle of remembering a cream that, let's face it, fails in 1 out of 5 cases. And injections? Sure, they seem effective, but they create blood spikes that also send estrogen soaring. The result? Mood instability, water retention, bloating, and the feeling that your body is always off balance. Pellets change everything. They're tiny cylinders of pure testosterone, no bigger than a grain of rice, placed under your skin through a quick, nearly painless procedure. From there, they release the hormone gradually and steadily for 3 to 6 months. No more roller coasters, just stability, just real results. They've been used in the US since the 1940s, and now, finally, they're gaining ground in other countries too, in clinics specializing in endocrinology and anti-aging. Of course, like any treatment, pellets aren't free of side effects. The most common ones, mild swelling or tenderness at the insertion site, temporary acne or hair growth, mostly if the dosage isn't just right, and, in some cases, fluid retention or breast tenderness in women. However, these symptoms are usually short-lived and easy to manage. Here's the truth. When the dosage is personalized and the treatment is overseen by a skilled professional, the benefits far outweigh the risks. The procedure? Super simple. A tiny incision, just a few millimeters, usually in the upper glute area. It takes less than 10 minutes, is done under local anesthesia in a clinic. Afterward, just a small bandage, a couple of easy days avoiding hard workouts, and that's it. No stitches, no real recovery. And results start showing up in the following weeks. So if you're looking for a long-term, low-maintenance solution without the wild ups and downs, ask yourself, what if the future of your hormonal health is as small as a grain of rice? Let's now look at the benefits seen in patients, men and women alike. Increased energy, more strength and lean muscle, sharper focus and mental clarity, renewed sex drive and desire, better sleep quality, less visceral fat, lower inflammation and cardiovascular risks, and improvement in anxiety, depression, menopause, and andropause symptoms. Yes, men go through andropause too, but no one talks about it. Hot flashes, poor sleep, low libido, depression, all signs of low testosterone. Now let's bust some myths and fears. Does testosterone make women aggressive? No. It's actually estrogen that causes irritability. Testosterone helps you feel calmer, more focused, and motivated. And facial hair in women? Only if the dose is way off and it's easy to fix. In fact, 80% of women over 50 already treat facial hair, even without any therapy. And what about prostate cancer? Recent studies show that properly dosed testosterone does not increase the risk. In fact, if your levels are optimal, it might even lower it. We live in an age where toxins, stress, and bad habits are attacking our hormonal balance every single day. And testosterone, this powerful and overlooked molecule, might just be one of the keys to turning it all around, to feeling more alive, more energized, more focused, more like yourself. If this video helped you, leave a like, share it with someone who needs to feel better. Subscribe for more content on health, natural foods, and energy. And in the comments, tell me, have you ever checked your testosterone levels? Have you ever wondered if this might be the missing piece in your well-being? I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.